Have you ever stood in front of your closet, surrounded by clothes, and still felt like there was nothing that truly speaks to the woman you've become? Maybe the pieces you once loved no longer feel quite right. Or perhaps you've tried following the latest trends only to realize they don't reflect your story anymore. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. After 50, style becomes less about chasing what's new and more about embracing what's timeless. It's about curating the details that quietly say, I know who I am, and I'm proud of it. Today isn't just about fashion. It's about rediscovering the power of presence, your presence. I want to share with you 7 classic accessories that do more than complete an outfit. These are the pieces that help you show up fully as yourself, confident, elegant, and beautifully seasoned by life. And here's the truth. You don't need a whole new wardrobe to feel like your best self. You just need the right elements that reflect your strength, your grace, and your story. So let's begin. 1. Structured handbag. A symbol of strength and intention. Let's begin with one of the quietest yet most powerful statements a woman can make. Her handbag. Now, I'm not talking about that overstuffed tote we all throw everything into when we're in a rush. I mean a structured, beautifully crafted handbag that says, without a single word, I have arrived, and I know exactly who I am. A structured handbag is more than just a place to carry your essentials. It represents stability, intention, and grace. It's the kind of piece that doesn't scream for attention, but when you walk into a room with it, people notice. Not because it's flashy, but because it's composed. And so are you. Over the years, many women fall into the habit of collecting bags that are trendy, overly decorated, or just convenient. But those bags often don't age well, physically or stylistically. They lose shape, look tired, or worse, they never really matched who we were to begin with. The right structured handbag, though, stands the test of time. It holds its shape, it elevates even the simplest outfit, and it sends a clear message. You value quality over quantity. One of the best things about a well-made structured bag is its versatility. Choose one in a neutral color, black, navy, caramel, or even a deep burgundy, and you'll find that it pairs with nearly everything in your wardrobe. Whether you're heading to brunch with friends, a doctor's appointment, or an evening event, it works, it belongs, just like you. Now, let me share a little story. A close friend of mine, Margaret, bought her first real structured handbag at age 62. She called it her grown woman purchase. She'd spent years buying what was on sale or what was good enough for now. But one day, she looked in the mirror and thought, why am I still treating myself like an afterthought? That bag, a simple camel leather satchel with gold hardware, changed something in her. She started standing taller, wearing lipstick again, saying no to things that didn't serve her. All because she allowed herself to invest in something that reflected her worth. A great handbag doesn't need to be designer. What matters most is construction, material, and how it makes you feel. Look for real leather or high-quality vegan leather. Make sure it holds its shape even when empty. Check the stitching, the handle, the hardware. These little details speak volumes. And here's a tip that so many women overlook. Store your structured handbag with care. Keep it stuffed with paper when you're not using it. Don't hang it on a doorknob. Place it upright in a dust bag if you have one. With the right care, a good handbag can last you 10, 15, even 20 years. It becomes part of your story. Something your daughter or granddaughter may one day carry and say, this belonged to a woman who knew her worth. So, if you've never given yourself permission to own that one special handbag, maybe now is the time. Not because you need it, but because you deserve it. You've spent decades showing up for others. This is about showing up for yourself, with elegance, intention, and a quiet kind of power that only grows stronger with time. 2. Elegant sunglasses, the quiet power of mystery and confidence. There's something almost cinematic about a woman in sunglasses. Not the oversized, trendy kind that overwhelm the face, but the kind that fit just right. Simple, elegant, quietly bold. Elegant sunglasses are more than sun protection. They're an attitude, a boundary, a soft barrier between you and the world that says, I see everything, but you don't need to see everything about me. At this stage in life, confidence becomes less about proving yourself and more about protecting your peace. The right pair of sunglasses supports that. They help you move through your day with presence, privacy, and polish. But there's a common mistake I see so many women make. They buy sunglasses based on what's trending, not what suits them. The truth is, trends don't care about your face shape. They don't know your personal style. That's why we end up with drawers full of sunglasses that we rarely wear. Too round, too square, too flashy, too flimsy. But when you find that perfect pair, it changes everything. Suddenly, you feel put together on your morning walk. You feel bold running errands in no makeup. You feel elegant sipping coffee on the patio. So how do you find the right ones? Start with shape. If your face is round, try frames with angles, like soft cat eyes or squared edges. If your face is more angular, consider rounded or oval shapes to balance your features. Next is size. This part is crucial. Sunglasses that are too big can drown out your natural beauty, while frames that are too small can feel outdated or awkward. Then there's color. Black is a classic, of course, but don't overlook tortoiseshell. It's rich, warm, and surprisingly flattering on mature skin tones. Metallic frames can add a modern edge, especially in gold or rose gold. Whatever you choose, focus on simplicity and structure. Think clean lines, good weight, solid hinges. Skip the rhinestones, logos, or bright neon colors. Those tend to shout when what you want is a whisper of sophistication. And please, don't forget UV protection. This isn't just about style. Your eyes, just like your skin, deserve to be protected. A high-quality lens will reduce squinting, prevent damage, and even help with migraines or light sensitivity. If you're going to invest in one pair, make it count. Let me tell you, one of my favorite accessories is a pair of matte black cat-eye sunglasses I bought 5 years ago. Not designer, not flashy, but every time I wear them, I walk a little taller. There's something empowering about putting them on. It's not about hiding. It's about choosing what the world sees. It's about carrying a quiet kind of confidence with you, no matter the weather. So, if you haven't found your pair yet, consider this your invitation. Don't wait for a special occasion. You are the occasion. Step outside, feel the light on your face, and let a good pair of sunglasses remind you just how powerful you already are. 3. Gold earrings. The subtle glow of maturity. There's a kind of light that doesn't come from the sun. It comes from within. And the right pair of earrings, especially gold ones, can catch that light and reflect it in the most graceful way. Gold earrings aren't just jewelry, they're punctuation marks, the final touch that finishes a sentence, or in this case, an outfit. They whisper elegance. And for women over 50, they carry even more meaning. They're not about trying to look younger. They're about honoring the beauty that's already there. But here's the truth. Not every earring flatters every face or every phase of life. One of the most common mistakes women make is wearing earrings that are either too loud or too conservative. On one end of the spectrum, you'll find overly trendy, oversized statement earrings that clash with the quiet sophistication of maturity. On the other, you've got tiny, lifeless studs that don't do justice to the strength and style you carry. The sweet spot. Classic designs with just enough modern edge. Medium-sized hoops in gold are a timeless choice. They bring movement and light to your face without overwhelming it. Small geometric drops or pearl-accented gold earrings are also beautiful. They add interest, but still feel refined. And let's talk about tones. As we age, our skin tone can shift, becoming warmer, softer, more delicate. Yellow gold often flatters this warmth, bringing a gentle radiance to the face. But if you have cooler or pinkish undertones, white gold or rose gold might feel more harmonious. The goal isn't to match your skin, it's to complement it, so that your earrings don't wear you, you wear them. I'll share a little moment that stuck with me. A woman once told me, "Every time I wear my gold hoops, I feel like myself again." Isn't that what style should do? Not reinvent you, not hide you, but reconnect you to your energy, your presence, your glow. And here's something practical to keep in mind. Weight matters. As we age, our earlobes can become more delicate. Choose earrings that are well-made but lightweight. You'll be more comfortable, and you won't have to worry about tugging or stretching. Look for quality fastenings, too. Nothing ruins a look faster than fidgeting with your earrings halfway through dinner. So, whether you wear earrings every day or just on special occasions, think of them not just as accessories, but as gentle affirmations. You've earned the right to shine, to glow without apology, to walk into a room and bring your own kind of light. And sometimes, all it takes is a little gold at your ears to remind you of that. 4. Brooch, a legacy in a pin. There's something almost magical about a brooch. It's small, often quiet, sometimes overlooked, but it holds stories, memories, and history in the way few accessories can. Brooches are having a quiet comeback, but for many women over 50, they never really left. Maybe you have one tucked away in a jewelry box somewhere. Maybe it belonged to your mother or your grandmother. Maybe you bought it on a trip decades ago and never quite found the right moment to wear it. Let me say this: that moment is now. A brooch isn't just a decorative pin, it's a statement of identity. It has the power to transform the ordinary into something personal and memorable. A simple black blazer becomes striking with the right brooch at the lapel. A silk scarf takes on character when held by a vintage pin. Even a plain handbag, when adorned with a small gold or jeweled brooch, suddenly becomes one of a kind. The challenge is often how to wear it without feeling old-fashioned. And that's understandable. Many of us associate brooches with older generations, but that's the beauty of it. When worn with intention and styled with modern pieces, a brooch doesn't age you, it elevates you. It turns a look into a conversation. Start small. Place a brooch off-center on a blazer or coat. Try pinning one onto a solid colored sweater or a structured handbag. If you wear scarves, use a brooch instead of a knot or a simple tie. It adds polish and a personal signature. And don't be afraid to layer. 3 smaller pins in a cluster can look incredibly modern and curated. You don't need to spend a fortune. In fact, some of the most unique pieces are found in vintage shops, flea markets, or tucked away in family heirlooms. What matters is not the price. It's the story. Every time you wear a brooch, you're carrying a piece of something, someone with you, a memory, a legacy. I remember a woman I met at a book club years ago. She always wore the same brooch, a delicate silver leaf. One day I finally asked about it. She smiled and said, "It was my mother's. She wore it every Thanksgiving, and I wear it now. not because I miss her, but because I carry her. That moved me more than I expected. Fashion is often about change, but brooches remind us that some things deserve to be kept. They ask us to remember, to honor, and in that remembering they make us beautiful in a way no trend ever could. So, if you have a brooch waiting somewhere, take it out, wear it, let it tell its story. And if you don't, maybe now is the perfect time to start your own collection, not because it's in style, but because it's part of who you are. 5. Classic watch, time, elegance, and self-respect. There was a time when a watch wasn't just about telling time, it was about how you told it. And even in today's world of smartphones and digital everything, a classic wristwatch remains one of the most quietly powerful accessories a woman can wear. A watch says you value your time, that you're intentional about where you spend it, who you give it to, and what you make of it. It's a statement of self-respect, and in many ways, a reflection of maturity. Some women believe watches have become obsolete. Why wear one when your phone does it all? They ask. But let me tell you this. When you wear a classic watch, you're not checking the time. You're owning it. You're not glancing at a screen. You're acknowledging the moment. And in a world that moves too fast, that small gesture is an act of presence. The right watch doesn't need to be expensive. It doesn't have to be designer. What matters is its timeless design and quality. Look for clean lines. A simple, readable face. No unnecessary glitz or oversized branding. Just clarity and elegance. Whether you prefer a supple leather strap in a neutral tone or a sleek metal bracelet, the key is proportion. Choose a size that feels balanced on your wrist. Not too big, not too tiny, just right. And here's a tip I've learned over the years. Match your watch to your energy, not your outfit. If you're someone who moves with calm, deliberate grace, maybe a slim watch with a soft leather strap suits you. If you carry strength and boldness, perhaps a classic silver or gold face with a wider band fits best. It should feel like a part of you, not an accessory you have to think about. Watches can also carry deep personal meaning. I know a woman who wears her father's old watch, refitted for her wrist. "It doesn't work anymore," she said once, "but it reminds me of the way he always showed up on time. For everything and everyone. It reminds me to do the same, for myself." That stayed with me. Wearing a watch as a woman over 50 isn't about keeping up with anything. It's about slowing down and staying centered. It's about knowing that your time is precious and wearing something that reflects that understanding. So if you've stopped wearing a watch because you thought it was outdated, maybe it's time to think again. This isn't about keeping track of time. It's about honoring it. And in doing so, honoring yourself. 6. Cashmere scarf. Softness, warmth, and strength. There's something deeply comforting about a scarf, especially one made of true, buttery soft cashmere. It's not just a piece of fabric. It's a feeling. It's warmth on a cold day. It's softness against your skin. But more than that, a cashmere scarf represents something we don't talk about enough. Gentle strength. Cashmere doesn't shout. It doesn't demand attention. It wraps, it protects, it endures, much like the women who wear it. For many women over 50, scarves become part of our signature. We've grown past fast fashion. We're drawn to quality, comfort, and things that last. And cashmere, when chosen well, lasts. A single well-made scarf can stay with you for decades. It softens over time, becomes part of your story. You wear it not just because it looks elegant, but because it feels like home. But here's the secret. Not all scarves are created equal. Many people settle for synthetic blends that itch, pill, or hang awkwardly. Real cashmere drapes naturally. It moves with you. It breathes. And though it can seem like a luxury, it doesn't have to be out of reach. There are more affordable options today, especially during end-of-season sales. Look for brands that source ethically and focus on durability, not just trend. Color is key. Stick with neutrals if you want maximum versatility. Shades like heather gray, soft camel, deep navy, or classic black. These tones pair effortlessly with almost anything in your wardrobe and transition beautifully between seasons. And don't underestimate how many ways you can wear it. Loop it loosely around your neck with a casual outfit. Let it drape open over your shoulders as a shawl for a dinner out. Or knot it like a neckerchief for a polished Parisian feel. The beauty of a scarf is in its adaptability. It doesn't just fit one look, it fits your life. I remember seeing an older woman at a cafe once. She had on simple jeans, a white button-down shirt, and a pale gray cashmere scarf wrapped just once around her neck. She looked effortless, elegant, comfortable in her own skin. It wasn't the scarf alone. It was how she wore it, how it moved with her. Like a second skin. That's what we're after. Not clothes that hide us, but pieces that hold us. Softness that doesn't mean weakness. Comfort that doesn't mean compromise. Style that reflects substance. So if you've never owned a real cashmere scarf, consider finding one. Not because you want to impress someone else, but because you want to honor the woman you've become. Strong, soft wear, and absolutely worth wrapping in something beautiful. 7. Pearls, wisdom, grace, and timeless beauty. There's a reason pearls have stood the test of time. They're not cut, they're not polished, they're not forced into perfection. They're formed slowly, layer by layer, through pressure and time, just like us. A strand of pearls isn't just jewelry. It's a mirror. It reflects the quiet elegance that comes from experience, the beauty that deepens with age, the grace that doesn't have to prove itself anymore. For many women over 50, pearls can feel complicated. Some worry they look too traditional, too formal, or, let's be honest, too old-fashioned. But here's the truth. Pearls only age you if you let them. When styled with intention, they don't make you look older. They make you look certain. Certain of who you are. Certain of your place in the world. Certain of your own beauty. Gone are the days when pearls had to mean a single strand worn with a twin set. Today, you can wear pearls your way. Layer delicate strands over a crisp white blouse. Pair pearl earrings with jeans and a leather jacket. Choose Baroque pearls, those with irregular shapes and unique character, for a look that feels organic and modern. Mix them with gold chains or leather cords for contrast. One of the most stunning combinations I've seen? A woman in her 60s wearing a black turtleneck and high-waisted trousers with nothing but a single strand of large pearls around her neck. No earrings, no makeup, just the pearls, and a presence that filled the room. And that's the power of pearls. They don't try to compete, they complement, they don't demand attention. They draw it in, slowly and deeply. Pearls are also deeply symbolic. Think about how they're formed, from a grain of sand, a small irritant, inside an oyster. Layer after layer, they become something rare and luminous. Isn't that what life does to us? We take the pain, the pressure, the waiting, and we turn it into strength, into softness, into beauty. So if you've been saving your pearls for special occasions, I invite you to rethink that. You are the occasion. Every day you wake up and show up with kindness, clarity, and wisdom. You've earned the right to wear something timeless. Let them be a reminder. You are not who you were at 20. And thank goodness. You've lived, you've learned, you've loved. And like pearls, you've become something quietly radiant, something no one can replicate. So there you have it, 7 timeless accessories, 7 quiet details that together create something far more powerful than fashion. They reflect the woman you've become. A woman who no longer needs to chase trends because she sets her own. But here's the truth. Elegance was never about the scarf, or the handbag, or the pearls. It was always about you, your presence, your history, your quiet confidence. These accessories, they just help you express that in the world, like punctuation marks in the story you're still writing, one filled with grace, depth, and character. And if there's one thing I hope you take away from today, it's this. You don't need permission to feel beautiful. You don't need an occasion to show up for yourself. And you certainly don't need to fade just because the world thinks youth is the only light worth chasing. Because you're light, it's different, it's steady, it's earned, and it's yours. If this video spoke to you, if even one accessory reminded you of who you are or who you want to be, don't keep that to yourself. Share it. With a friend, a daughter, a sister, someone who needs to remember that style, at its best, is not about changing who you are. It's about coming home to it. And next time, we'll take this even further. I'll show you how to build entire outfits around these timeless pieces, so you can move through your day not just looking elegant, but feeling like yourself again. Until then, take care of yourself the way you take care of others, with love, with grace, and with intention. You deserve nothing less.